Dear students, I have come with a new module, computation of quartile deviation. Now, quartile deviation gives the amount by which two quartiles, that is Q1 and Q3, differ from median. Median is either Q2 or we call it as M, median. Q1 is quartile deviation 1 and Q3 is quartile deviation 3. So usually in an asymmetrical distribution meaning it's not a normal distribution. Normal distribution is all the values are evenly distributed throughout the series. So if you put that in a graph paper, you will get a bell-shaped curve. So almost all the social science distributions are asymmetrical. So in an asymmetrical distribution, Q1 and Q3 will be equidistant from the median. So you have to remember that always we will get asymmetrical distribution, and then it is important for us to calculate how this variation is for them for Q1 and Q3 from the median. So that is what we are trying to do through the computation of quartile deviation. So in an asymmetrical distribution, it will include at least 50% of the observations. So now by learning the variation, we can measure the variation of Q1 and Q3 from the median. Now, if quartile deviation, when we calculate, if it's a small value we are getting, we can say that there is high uniformity for the 50% values. But if you're getting a relatively high quartile deviation, that means there is high variation among the middle 50% of the values. Now, quartile deviation, you have to remember that it's an absolute measure of dispersion. The corresponding relative measure is coefficient of quartile deviation. So when we are expressing absolute measure of dispersion, we will write the units. Whereas when we write the relative measure of quartile deviation, we will not write the units. That we have to remember. Now coefficient of quartile deviation is calculated using the equation Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1. Now how the computation of quartile deviation is divided. Three classifications are there: individual observations, discrete series and continuous series. First step, individual observation, if you have to do quartile deviation or median, you have to arrange the data in ascending or descending order of magnitude. But the formula for calculating quartile deviation is Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. So we'll see the first problem. Compute quartile deviation and coefficient of quartile deviation from the following data. So runs scored by a batsman: 20, 28, 40, 12, 30, 15 and 50. You know that this data is not arranged in the ascending or descending order of magnitude. First thing, we have to arrange the data in ascending or descending order. So that is 12, 15, 20, 28, 30, 40 and 50. Now we have to calculate Q1. So first Q1 is equal to n plus 1 divided by fourth term. That meaning n is the number of observations. So here you have 7 values. So 7 plus 1 divided by 4, it's the second term. That meaning Q1 value is 15. Similarly, you have to calculate Q3 value. Q3 value is 3 into n plus 1 by fourth term. That is 3 into 2, that is the sixth term, that is 40. So Q1 is 15 runs, Q3 is 40 runs, and now we can calculate the quartile deviation. That is Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. That is 40 minus 15 divided by 2, that is equal to 12.5 runs. Now we have to calculate coefficient of quartile deviation. That is Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1. So that is 40 minus 15 divided by 40 plus 15. That is equal to 0.4545. We will not write the units there because coefficient is a pure value. So we will not write the units for coefficient of quartile deviation. Now we are coming to the computation of discrete series. So the formula is same. How we calculate quartile deviation and coefficient of quartile deviation, formulas are same. Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2 for quartile deviation, and coefficient of quartile deviation is Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1. Now we will do the problem. So that is wages and number of workers. Wages units, it's expressed as rupees. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60. Number of workers 4, 7, 15, 8, 7 and 2. Now you know that Q1 and Q3 for discrete series, if you have to calculate, computation is based on cumulative frequency values. So we have to write the table for computing Q1 and Q3 values. So values of X 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60. Values of F 4, 7, 15, 8, 7 and 2. Now cumulative frequency values, that meaning adding the frequency values. First will be 4, next will be 4 plus 7, it's 11, 11 plus 15, 26, 26 plus 8, 34, 34 plus 7, 41, 41 plus 2, 43. Now we have to calculate Q1 and Q3. So Q1 and Q3, n plus 1 by 4th item, that is 43. Here n is cumulative frequency total, 43 plus 1 divided by 4. So Q1 you will get as rupees 20. Q3, 3 into n plus 1 by 4. So that is 3 into 11th item, that is 33rd item, that is 40. So this 11th and 33, we have to see the cumulative frequency values. Then the corresponding x values we will take. That is how we are getting rupees 20 as Q1 and Q3 as rupees 40. Now quartile deviation is 40 minus 20 divided by 2, that is rupees 10. Coefficient of quartile deviation is Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1. That is 40 minus 20 divided by 40 plus 20, that is 0.33. Now we have to calculate for the continuous series. The formulas are the same for individual observations, discrete series and continuous series. So now we will see the problem. Marks of students and number of students. Marks of students 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 70 and 70 to 80. Number of students 12, 19, 5, 10, 9, 6 and 6. Now we have to calculate Q1 and Q3. One thing you have to remember, here calculating the Q1 class and Q3 class, it's n by 4. There is no n plus 1. You have to remember that. We have used for continuous series, it's n by 4. It's not n plus 1 by 4. Whereas for discrete and individual observations, we are using n plus 1. So this is the important point you have to remember here. So when you are calculating, x values are there, f values are there, cumulative frequency values are there. So when we'll see the solution, Q1 is equal to n by 4th term. So Q1 class is 67 by 4. That is 16.75th term. That you have to see in the cumulative frequency value. So that meaning you will get Q1 class as 20 to 30. Now you have to use the equation for calculating Q1. That is L plus n by 4 minus cumulative frequency divided by f into I. Substituting the values, we will get 20 plus 16.75 minus 12 divided by 19 into 10. That is equal to 22.5 marks. Q3 is equal to 3 into 16.75th term. That is equal to 50 to 60 is the Q3 class. Now Q3 can be computed using the equation, and when we substitute the values, we are getting Q3 is equal to 50 plus 50.25 minus 46 divided by 9 into 10. That is equal to 54.722 marks. Now quartile deviation is equal to Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. That is equal to 54.72 minus 22.5 divided by 2. That is equal to 16.11 marks. Now coefficient of quartile deviation, we know that Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1 is the equation. Substituting the values, 54.72 minus 22.5 divided by 54.72 plus 22.5, that is equal to 0.4172. Now we are coming to the merits of quartile deviation. So computation is based on 50% of the observations. So other 50% values we can avoid. Then quartile deviation we can calculate for open-ended classes. There is no need to define the lower limit or the upper limit of the last class which is not defined, provided it's not the Q1 or Q3 class. So even for open-ended classes we can calculate Q1 and Q3 without defining the limits which are not defined. Then quartile deviation is not affected by extreme values. Then we have to see the limitations. Limitations, computation is based on 50% of the observations. So the other 50% we are not considering for computation. Then computation is not based on each and every item of the series. Some values are completely avoided. Now that is why Q1 and Q3 are not considered as good measures of dispersion. A good measure will be always considering the entire distribution and they will be computing that. So quartile deviation is a measure of partition than a measure of dispersion. Measure of partition, that is 50% of the values they are partitioning from the series or dividing from the series. Now further mathematical treatment is not possible for computation because computation is based only on 50% of the observations. Now last point is quartile deviation is highly affected by sampling fluctuations. Then quartile deviation is basically dependent upon the values of central values. That is, always we have to remember that 50% of the values only we are concentrating. So if these values are irregular, the results are affected adversely. Similarly, quartile deviation is not affected by distribution of items between Q1 and Q3. Then you have to remember values of Q1 and Q3 can be similar for same two dissimilar items, different series. Even if the formation is different, it can give the same values. So these are the limitations of quartile deviation. So this is what I want to explain with this module. Thank you.